have it. Right here we have our idea from yesterday, which was silver against the US dollar. Now it is this area just here that you can see here that we're looking at. Now we caught out silver on a sell stop yesterday, and as you can see, silver activated, and then it drops. It drops right down, hits TP1 and TP2 yesterday. So if you managed to catch anything from silver yesterday, type silver in the chat. You can even put silver 1 or silver 2 if you want to say TP1 or TP2. That's up to you, but drop a silver in the chat if you caught something yesterday. And you can see it went down very nicely. Sorry, my apologies. Oh, great stuff. Oh, sorry. One moment. Sorry. I've still got a bit of a sore throat this morning. But that's not going to stop us. But yes, so as you can see, oh, believe me, you should have heard me on the weekend. It was terrible. So this is the good side of it. But if you're not well, one thing you can do is soothe those thoughts by having a look at the charts or getting your studies up as well. But yeah, so this is based on the 4-hour time frame. So obviously in the 24 hours that we had, we go back right to here. This is the start right here, and then obviously it went up a little bit, activated, and even the surfboard scanner even gave its confirmation to say you're coming down. Sorry, my apologies. It gave its confirmation to say you're going down, and as you can see, it just decided to do its thing on the 1-hour time frame. Oh wow, my apologies. On a 1-hour time frame, as you can see, it went up a couple of times. It was still trying to push up, but then overall it came down, and as you can see, it hit both TP1 and TP2. Now, it could seem as if it's going to set back up again today. We're not going to just jump in and say, oh yeah, there's a candle there, let's go back and see, try and get all the way. You don't need to go all the way. Sometimes when the trade's done its thing, it's already done its thing, you have to look for another. Sometimes they can set back up again. When that does happen, don't get me wrong, that is lovely. But for those who are, like, say, for example, compounding, if you've already made your target for the day, you don't need to keep going in all the way for it. Sometimes, for example, I'll give you an example now. If you'd caught this idea yesterday and it was enough for your compound plan to last for the rest of the week, take the rest of the week off. You don't have to go all the way to shoot for the stars. Slow and steady will still win the race. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So drop a MS in the chat if that makes sense. And what we're going to do is actually go and check the, if you know what I'm talking about, news. So let's get up the news. And if you remember yesterday, there was quite a bit of news that was due for today especially for the US dollar. And as you can see right here, on Wednesday, September the 10th, which is actually my dad's birthday today, and he's just turned 81. So happy birthday to you, Dad. We have news at 1:30 p.m. UK time on the US dollar, and there's 2 red folded news on the US dollar. So any currency pairings involving the US dollar around just after lunchtime for us, which is bang on for news time and the start of the New York session, there is 2 lots of red folded news. We'll have a quick glimpse on tomorrow to see if the news from today will have any correlation to tomorrow. And ding dong, yes it does. So as you can see, Thursday, September the 11th, you got news at just after midnight UK time, so midnight, red folded news on the New Zealand dollar. And this is going to be quite significant as Government Hawkesby is speaking. This is equivalent to when Government Bailey speaks for us here in the UK, or when Judge Powell speaks in the United States during non-farm payroll. So this is the New Zealand dollar's equivalent for that at this time. And don't forget, New Zealand, they're hours ahead of us here in the UK. So this is during their prime time of the day. Then at 1:15 p.m. Tomorrow, obviously we'll go back over these again tomorrow, but I'm just showing you this is what we're going to be leading into. 2 lots of red folded news on the euro, and then 15 minutes later, followed by 4 lots of red folded news on the US dollar, and 15 minutes after that, another batch of red folded news on the euro. So tomorrow can be quite volatile. So today might be steady, or today might be a case of it is just setting up, ready for tomorrow. If that makes sense and you understand that, you can either type MS or type news in the chat. And we are going to be going over to check our currency strength meter at livecharts.co.uk. And this is currently what it is saying at the moment. So the euro and the Great British pound, they're both on 4 bars, which is relatively strong. Australian dollar is at its strongest at the moment. The US dollar currently is at its weakest, and it's the weakest in comparison to the other currency pairings that you see around. Now, this obviously can change when it gets to news time and the start of the New York session, or just a little bit before that. But in the meanwhile, the US dollar is at its weakest, so any currency pairings against the US dollar is more inclined to buy. But it's only more inclined to buy if the currency pairings start, for example, with GBP USD. It's more inclined to be buying. Same for like AUD USD. But other currency pairings that involve, like, say, for example, the Japanese yen or the Canadian dollar, it actually starts off with the US dollar against the Japanese yen, or US dollar against Canadian dollar. So it will be more than likely selling, the US dollar will be selling against those currency pairings. So hopefully that makes sense. If it makes sense, drop a live charts in live charts in the chat, or LC, or just type quoted in the chat, as we see how that now correlates to the charts. As I already mentioned, this is already doing this thing here. What I'll do just to show you is I'll make this a little bit more transparent. Good, I can see that you're catching it. Perfect. Right, hopefully you can see this a bit better now. As you can see, it went all the way down. It's come up. It's actually coming to the middle Bollinger Band area here. It could look to try and use this area now to bounce back down, because this is also a price. This whole area here is a price action area. A lot of activity is going on here right now, and bearing in mind that this area, oh, my apologies, there we go, thank you for that. As you can see here, this area right here is a price action area, and what we also have to bear in mind, if I zoom out and go on to currently is the day chart, make this so you can see a bit better. No, I'll make this so you can see with that in between the lines again after. But you can see that the market has gone up, down, and it's come all the way up here. This area up here is silver's all-time high. Silver has never been as high as it has been this last week, within the last week or so. So, as I mentioned on the session yesterday, as a kettle, when it boils up, it's boiled, it starts to simmer down. As it simmers down, the price will generally fall. So I do genuinely believe it's going to fall again. And if it does, we'll just take a little bit. We don't need to go for broke on how many pips we get. Don't forget, you only need to make enough for your compound plan. We cannot be getting greedy when trading. For a few of us, we was actually on an amazing training session last night, and we was talking about risk management and pip calculations and so forth. Now, risk management is key. Don't think, okay, there's 100 pips that I can go for. Let's go for all 100 pips. Or there's 3 TPs, there's 5 TPs. Let's put one down for every single TP. You don't need to do that. Just go for one TP. Or if you really want to actually just maximize things, for example, have one trade for maybe a further TP, and then if it hits the TPs in between, you can move your stop loss up in profit and secure the bag. You can move it up to entry, you can move up to, like, say, TP1, for example. So you've secured the bag, and then you come out. If, for example, you've done that and you've made more than your compound plan for the day, for example, stop trading, and you can withdraw the profits extra from that you've made in comparison to your compound plan and make it in line to what you need, and you've already withdrawn profits. So that's a little tip for you there from me on the session as well. Now let's another thing I wanted to point out as well. Let me get this up so you can see here at the bottom. You can see me moving. Is actually called the MACD indicator, and it's a crossing. Now here shows you the volume and the momentum as well of the market, the price of the currency pair we are on. So right now you can see that it's been pushing up for a buy. As it goes green up here, you can see it's a buy. And also these two lines here, when the blue line is above the red, it's more of an inclination of a buy. As you can see, it started to level off a little bit as we got into our trade yesterday. As you can see, it's leveling off there. It's more or less going to get ready to come back down. Now, if we bring that to the 4-hour time frame, I'm going to stretch these up now just so you can see the candles better. There we go. Hopefully you can see this okay. If you can see what I'm doing okay, just type a yes in the chat. There we go. Right, so here, as you can see as well, we'd want for this indicator here is actually your directional movement indicator. So this will tell you if the price is going up for a buy or down for a sell based on what it's actually happened on its previous candle. Not what it's going to happen, not what's going to happen in the future, but based on what's happened on the previous candles. So you can see that here the blue line is slowly starting to pierce up, or trying to pierce up over the white line, and the red's slowly looking down. Sorry, my apologies. It's trying to inclinate to say that it's pushing for a buy, but it's also slightly conflicted because, as you can see here at the bottom, it has been selling. Now, even though it has says that, you can see there's the solid reds, then you got the lighter reds. Sorry, that means when it gets lighter, it means that it's currently reversing. And as it's reversing the other way, it will say it's not going down, it's going up. Or in this case, with the green for the buy, as it started to get lighter, that meant it was losing momentum and it was starting to come down for a sell. Now, as it's coming down for the sell, in fact, it will narrow this down a little bit more to give you another example. Apologies. As you can see here, my apologies, sorry. There is a bug that's going around over here, and it is not nice. If you, like I said, if you heard me on the weekend, you know I'm actually quite good at the moment. But that doesn't stop you from anything from the charts or your education. Now, as you can see here, based on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that the price has come back up to around TP1. So the price come back to TP1. There is, as you can see, a red candle that's popped up, and that's based on the 1 hour time frame. And we're actually nearly at the end of that 1 hour time frame also. So I wouldn't be surprised if another one came up to sell, but it might not have to be this hour. It could be the next hour. It doesn't have to be straight away. It could be part way through. But what we are going to do, well, what I'm going to quickly do is first of all zoom out so I can actually move this, get a better view for you. Go back to the 1 hour. Right, so if it was to come down and I was to call this one out for today, we would look for something like this. So it would go back down here again. So TP1, TP2, and TP3. So we'll be looking for something similar like this. Let me make it brighter so you can see exactly which part I am on about. Also, I hope you paid attention to what I'm doing, because as I'm doing this, you can learn how to be able to navigate your way through your trading view also at the same time. Right, so if we have this little area here that we're looking at within the other trade, there can be trades within trades for those that don't know or for those that's new. Now, this is more or less what we'll be going for. So entry would be around TP1. Stop loss would be around yesterday's entry and a little bit more TPs, which I'll go back over. But first, let's narrow this down a little bit more. Come down to a smaller time frame just to try and get a good entry. And this does seem like it is nearly ready. So it might actually activate just after the coin might activate just as we're on it. So let's get ready for silver on a sell stop. So we're going to be going for silver on a sell stop. And our entry, as I mentioned, will be yesterday's TP1. So that will be 41.000. Stop loss will be yesterday's entry, which is 41.333. And I just heard some mathematicians go recurring. No, just 333. TP1 is effectively yesterday's TP2. So TP1 is going to be 40.750. TP2 is going to be 40.400. So 40.400. And then TP3 is actually a little bit further down from here. Let's do this properly. TP3 is actually going to be 40.000. So let's try to get this up. So let's get this line here. So 40.000. Let's change that to that color. So hopefully you've got that down. Now, although we're currently looking at this on a 15-minute time frame, this is only to narrow down the entry. It's actually based off the 1 hour and also the 4 hour time frames. So please make sure as well, as this is also a commodity, you're using correct risk management as well. So correct risk management is basically 0.01 lot size. So let me just make sure that this is in the group so you can see. Hour and 4 hour time frames. Please use correct risk management. Okay, you should be getting those very shortly. Okay, you should. See, it's now. Okay, there we go. It is in. If you've managed to get in with this as well, type in the chat. Sorry. If you managed to catch this, type in the chat. Okay. All right. So if this that's the case, you can also change this to sell limit. If it doesn't let you place as a sell stop, you could do it as a sell limit and set your TP. Set the TPs the same. So sometimes it happens when you're too close to the entry price, it will do this. So you can do it as a sell limit instead. In fact, let me know if that works for you before we jump off the session, just to make sure. And hopefully it will help everybody else that's also on the session or watching this recording. Should allow you to do it. Hopefully you'll be able to catch it. Okay, you can catch it up in this session will be recorded as well. Well, it is recorded, so the video will be uploaded. Okay, where are we again? Okay, great. There we are. So did this come up? So did this come up and let you place a sell limit? That's it. Sell limit. That's come to the end of the session now as well. Well, we are at the end of the session. In fact, as you're doing that, I do want to show. Okay, if it's not doing that, you can take this as market execution. Sometimes when the price is just too close, it is just too close to do as a pending order. You can take it as a market execution, but just bear in mind that as soon as you enter, that's the price that you're in. So you'd be just behind the entry. So it still be a good entry, but make sure you have your stop loss in place. Your stop loss is your lifeline, your live to trade another day feature as well. So make sure you have your stop loss in place. I know I did mark up GBP USD yesterday, but I didn't call it out officially because we're just going to be focusing. These sessions now are just going to be focusing on silver in terms of calling out, and then from there as well, it will. Oh, yeah, entry is at yesterday's TP1. It's yesterday's TP1. This is a whole new trade, educational idea for today. So yesterday, because it already hit TPs, that's already classed as the trade idea doing its thing. So this now is a new idea. So even though it's coming up as yesterday's, it is today's. But let's quickly go on to the one I was showing yesterday, which is GPUSD, and you will have a surprise with this also, because if I can get this up properly, as you can see, mark this out, and it activated. It did then wick up to stop loss, so even if we did take it, we would have been stopped out. But after it stopped out, it would then come down. It then came down and then hit TPs 1 and 2, and then started going back up. So it did also do its thing. Also, you had the point when it did start to drop, the directional movement indexes here indicated then actually changed, and it was a strong indication for a sell there, along as down here with the MACD crossing as well. You can see that it just, the volume of the sell went right the way down and started to come back up slightly. So that is what happened with GPUSD yesterday. You could have taken it if you chose to. What I'm going to be doing, I'll show it on the sessions just to show this could be the possibility right now, but we'll be focusing on silver. And it is already in, it's already been put in the chat, also in the group, sorry. And it's only going to be in the group as well, for silver, that is. Shout out to compliance. So now to go back to so that's GBP USD there. We're not going to be looking at that again for today. We've got our one for the day, which is, oops, let me go back to it, silver. And plus also with silver, obviously you know me as SilverSurfer, which is for silver. So this is what we are focusing on. And here we go. So this is what we are looking at for today. And BNB. So here we go. This is our idea right here for the day. Just a nice little portion. We are at the end of the session now. The recording will be uploaded as soon as possible as well. It also goes to my YouTube channel as well. So once you look at the video, like and subscribe, and you also have access then to the previous sessions also. So thank you all for getting on today's session. We will be back again same time tomorrow, which is 6 a.m. UK time. Now, I know some of the time zones with us coming out of summer going into autumn, there's going to be some time zone changes. So these sessions are always going to be at 6 a.m. UK time or GMT. So just double check if you can. Ask Google or ask Siri what is 6 a.m. UK time in your specific time zone, and it will give you the answer, and you can jump on from there. So thank you all again. As I mentioned, I will play us out, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you all. Take care and stay blessed.
need that you